Hey everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, and we're very happy to see you here today. We're working on block 8 of our 2017 Christmas quilt series, and we are having a blast with this and can't wait to have this whole quilt top put together. So what we're working on is 2 different type of presents. This is something I've just designed, so if you want all the directions and the cuts, listen up, because it's only going to be here on the video. I'm not sure if Pop will put it in the comments, or the little for more, but whatever. Anyways, so this is present number 1, and this is present number 2. Okay, you're going to make 2 and 2. So, and we have very 3D bows here, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So I chose what you need to do for present number 1, which is this one right here. I'm calling the smaller one here. You need 4 3.5 by 3.5, and this is what's going to be your wrap fabric. It's, go get the glitzy stuff, the shiny, the bing bing, the bling bling, whatever, and use that, because that's pretty much how Christmas wrap is. The shinier the better. So, and of course I found these little candies. I couldn't figure out what to do with them until this project. So so we got, that's going to go there, and then you're going to pretty much border it up so it looked like it's being wrapped with ribbon, okay? Because I chose this one with a little bit of cardinal, so you can see like the cardinal was the wrap, because I thought that was pretty wrap, if it would make pretty wrap. So, all right, so we have our, we need 2 and 2, and we need to add our ribbon, which is 1 inch by 3.5, and we need to add those in between the 2 and the 2, okay? And then we're going to add the bottom ribbon in between, and then that's going to help finish the present, and then we're going to add the bows, okay? So let's sew these together here, and then the bow right here is 2.5 by 2.5, okay? And then this one right here is 1 by 7.5, okay? And then we're just going to sew it on down. Doo-doo-doo. I like this size because it was cute. It was a good size. It wasn't too big. It wasn't too small. Okay, so now we got it sewn on those 2 sides. We'll take it over to the ironing board and set the seam, and then just press there, and then we'll just attach the other side. Okay, and because make sure if yours is directional, like this one right here, I just want to make a point that making sure that you're lining up your cardinals or robins or trees or snowmans or whatever in that manner to make sure that it looks like it's actually wrapped paper, right? Like it's wrapping paper. So, but because the candies don't have any, I don't think any directional to them, I'm not being too concerned. But do pay attention to that if you happen to pick a fabric like that, okay? Make sure it's you're sewing it in the directional way it needs to go. Okay, we'll attach this one over here, and then we'll do a little press, and then we'll put the bottom one, or the one in between, the middle one, to finish off the ribbon on the present, and then we're going to make the ribbon, the bow for the top of the present. Okay. Okay, and then those are those 2 press, and now you add that little 7.5. I make it so you can trim it, just in case. You know, if you're not always exact on your seam allowances or something like that, if you're a little scant, or if you're, just right on, just trim it up so it's nice and square afterwards. Okay. Now we'll just press that. I really like the candy with the red. That's very pretty. Okay. And then, like I said, if this is a time you had to make sure it was directional, make sure you had it going all in the same way that you need to go to produce that image, like we had with that little cardinal there. And if you need to pin, go ahead. And then also do a little feel to make sure that your seams are going to line up a little bit better than my 2 here on this one. For some reason, even I picked it apart and tried to reset it again. It just wasn't as pretty as I'd have liked it. So I was hoping to do better the second time around on this one. So let's just do a little flip. I think that's pretty darn good, actually. Let's go with it. Okay, wait till I'm a little closer before taking those pins out. Preferably don't poke yourself. Okay, and then we'll press. And then I'll show you how to make the bows. Isn't that cute? I love that. That's a beautiful little present. Wonder what's inside. Something for me. Okay, just even that up. Okay, now we have to make sure we have our top piece, which is our background fabric. And of course, I've chose blue for this because most of my blocks have a darker blue, a nighttime sort of feel to it. Some of them, not all of them, but I wanted to kind of pull that back in. So I chose the darker blue here and a little bit more of a patterny print on these guys right here. So to finish off the bow, you're going to make prairie points, okay? So you're just going to fold point to point, if your block is square, and then over again, okay? Clearly my square is not a square, it's about quarter out. All right, let's do this. Let's do this right, shall we? Why is it a quarter off? Oh well, give it a little trimmer. Let's see if that's better. Much. Okay, so now you put your little points to points together just like that. You fold it in half, okay, just like it was a very, very tiny bandana, okay, or a little, very tiny little bandana on the top there, a little tie underneath for a little mouse. Anyways. Bob's giggler behind you. All right, and then you're just gonna put the other corners together. Okay, so now this is your choice. Do you want the little loops going on the inside, or do you want them going on the outside? Because I mean, that's completely up to you. I like them both ways, so I'm just gonna do it whatever way I feel I wanna do for that present. So I'm gonna line them up here, put the points either right next to the ribbon or on the ribbon. Just make sure it's consistent on both sides, okay? I was just gonna say I have a big pin cushion around here somewhere, taking everything with me. All right, and then just put a pin in there to hold it until you get the other one positioned. Okay, you can do the same. Clearly, I was in a haste. And didn't measure that correctly, so measure twice, cut once. Okay, and because I put the little fold towards the inside here, I'm gonna make sure I'm doing exactly the same thing to the other side. And I have it so those little tips are coming on, they're touching my ribbon there, so I know they're gonna look even once I get them done. Okay. All right, now you need to add your background fabric, which is this tall piece right here, which should be 7 by 2.5, and that is exactly what it is. So we want to make sure we go there. So nope, that's afterwards. Okay, and then we're going to pin it. Of course, you're always going to have enough to trim. So I'm going to move my pin to now the front side here. Holding that, because I've already got the tail of it, right? Hold that, move that right to the front. Do the same for the other side. Pin the tail. Okay, and then come in and get that pin that you have for the red part and bring it to the front and make sure it's all nice and even and your little tips are down and you have all those raw edges tucked in there, okay? So that's how it's gonna look, okay? Isn't that cute? Adds a really nice dimension to the present. Because why not? I think I should stand out and jump at you and go, open me, open me, open me. Okay, so now we're gonna sew all the way down with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, making sure we're catching those raw edges of that red bow, or of the bow, whatever color your bow is. Okay, I'm gonna hold that there. Make sure I've got at least the tip of that bow started with the stitching, so it's going to stay in place before I take my pin out and then travel all the way to the end. And somehow we have a random white thread from, I don't know where. Where's it go? Oh, is that this? Sorry. Okay. There we go. Pretty cool. All right, so let's press this. There. And then press it open. And you can have it so your bows are up, your bows are down, your bows are everywhere around. It's completely up to you, okay? So there we go. Now we're gonna add the sides and then the bottom, okay? To kind of just seal it all up, okay? So we've done all this part here, we've attached there, so now we're just gonna do these sides and then the bottom, okay? So very easy, and of course you wanna just square it up a bit because it's gonna, fabric manipulation always gives it a little bit of tweaking. Okay, I don't wanna lose that one. I'll put this down. Oops, I cut this one a little longer than I guess. Let's just make sure. See, always measure. See, this is coming out at 8.5 inches. What did I have written down here? 2 times 9. Hold on. It was a little longer than 9, but see, now you just want to make sure you're going to trim it to what you need. Okay, measure your block. 8.5. And then make this a nice flat clean edge on that side. Okay, line that up, edge to edge, looks beautiful. Sew her down. Okay, and you can have, your background could be any color, wherever you want your present to sit. You know, you can make it another present in the background or something. I'm sure you can figure that out. Can't be too complicated. Okay, you just want to do one on either side, and then we'll press, and then we'll add the bottom, and then this present is done. And then you want to make 2. And I've already done 2, so you better catch up. It's taking you so long. Keep cooking. It's presents to wrap. Okay, and then we'll just add the last little piece. Of course, and just do another measure. Do another measure to make sure that, you know, your seam allowances and, you know, like I said, fabric manipulation changes it a bit. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm doing my bottom edge right here. So I'm bringing it up to my measuring board here, and it comes out at 9 inches. And I think I had 9 inches there. So it's, nope. I had 9.25 inches. Okay. Obviously, I didn't finish trimming this set. I apologize. I was wondering why I was off on all of them. What's going on? I had prepped, but not prepped enough. Okay, now just line that up. Make sure you got edge to edge. And if you haven't, if it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger as you're going, pin the sides, pin the middle, and then work the fabric in between to make sure it stays even. Okay, because that's how you do borders too. Or they say pin the center, pin the outsides, and then work the way in between the 2 points, right? So same thing. All right, present 1 done. Is it for you? Is it for me? It's probably for Clive. Year supply catnip. Okay, and then this is where, if you want to press your 3D bow or your prairie point open to give yourself that little bow, you can. Just put your finger inside, kind of flatten it in half, come in with the iron, and then just give it a little press, and then they pop out like that. Present for you, present for me. Whose name's on it? We'll see. All right, so there's 2, okay? And now we're gonna make this one real quick. This is super easy, okay? So hopefully I did my measurements. If not, I know how to fix it. Okay, and I chose this cute, and this is directional because I don't want this side of the present wrap to look like that and then this one like this, when I really want them both to be upwards because that's how the wrapping paper would go, right? So very directional on this one. So here's my two big squares, okay? They are, oh, and this one should end up to be about a 9.5 by 9.5 inch block, okay? Now present number 2 is 2 5-inch by 5-inch, 1 1-inch by 5-inch ribbon, which is going to go right in the center in between. The bow is 3.5 by 3.5 too, which makes these two right here. This background fabric is 10 by 3.5. This is 2 by 8, and this is 2 by 13. So you need 2 of those and 1 of those. And this ends up being a 13 by 9.5 inch block, approximately, okay? All right, so we are going to, of course you can see, okay, where you like this guy and this guy, do you like those sides better? Do you like this and this side better? I mean, it's completely up to you of how you want to lay it out. Just make sure it's the right way, okay? All right, we'll sew this down on either side. Give this a little press. And then we're going to sew the other one on the other side, but make sure it's lined up. So I know my snowmans are facing me, they're upright. This is where you can use some of those fabrics you're not quite sure of, or you don't want to use a whole lot of. A couple of 5-inch squares, it'll just tie everything in together and it'll look really quite pretty. Okay, so we'll set that, open that, there we go. Okay, now for our prairie points again, that's how fast our little guy was made. Okay, I mean, like I say, just fold it in half and then tip to tip again. And making sure all those raw edges over or up on the same side, all 4 of them are pointing upwards. Okay. So let's do the bow the other way, since I did 2 one way, and I'll do 2 the other. And I'm going to come just so it's just in line with that ribbon. My tips of my bow are just going to touch the edge of that ribbon where it meets the wrapping paper. Okay, and I'm going to do what I did last time, is position it, hold it in its spot. Okay, making sure my out points are in the same direction. I don't want one going one way, one going the other. And I'm trying to match it up so it just hits my wrapping paper, my ribbon, or for my present. Come here, you. Stop moving around. Okay, now position it. Give it a little pin. Okay, now I want to make sure I have my big background fabric, which is the 10 by 3.5. And I'm going to just put it on top, making sure I'm going to enclose those raw edges from the prairie point. Okay, you may want to put a couple pins in this time around just to make sure it stays. We don't want it shifting, because then we got to use the seam ripper. Okay, secret word is bring. B-R-I-N-G. Bring it on. Bring on the presents. Bring on Christmas. Bring it on. Bing. It's already snowed, so we're ready. Oops. Oh, okay, that was a little close underneath there. All right, now making sure everybody's tucked in. It looks good. Okay, now we're just going to sew that down. I think one of my corners has shifted here. It did too. See? Look at that. That could have been disastrous. It's always good to check. And I only noticed that because I flipped it out and then flipped it back in. There we go. We're good? We're good. Okay, perfect. Been really good without the seam ripper lately. Because I've been giving it all to Munchkin. Some of it. He wants to help though. Now just make sure you're just sewing and you're coming when you make sure you've like tacked it into, started it, and then remove your pin because you don't want it shifting. And try to keep a consistent 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then we'll see how this went. Let's give a little press. And hopefully everybody got included. It looks like we're good. Excellent. Cute. Oh. You know what I did? I put the bow on the wrong side of the snowman. Here I am telling you. See, I cursed it. Oh. All right, maybe Pop will fast forward through this part. No. Silly me. Silly me. It's because I was saying something about it. I know. See? The gods will get you in the end. All right, easy enough to do. Just switch them to the other side. It's only when I pressed, I'm like, oh, that's not where they're supposed to be. Oh, well, I didn't do this on the other one. Well, because it's really not complicated for the other one. It was just green wrap. Just a note, directional is important. That's going to be the name of this video. Kidding. Okay, now let's move our buddies to the other side, because clearly they go on top of the present, not underneath it. Okay, now let's do that again.
I've always said Pop wrap that one.
No, it's my mistake. But we do always have some very interesting wrapping going on around here. Okay, do I have them touching? I have them just touching. I got them both the same direction. My snowmans are looking at me. My bows are on top. All right, let's do this again. Round 2. Slight delay in the creation. Hope you didn't mind. You want to hang out together longer anyways. I know. I know. Okay, let's get the one from underneath. All right, now, double checking, triple checking. Bows in the right order, tails are tucked in. All right, rocking. Whoops. That is life, and that's how we fix it. Between duct tape, seam ripping, and glue, we pretty much got covered. And cake. It's always about cake. Hopefully I got my other corners in. I might be using the ripper again. Oh, I did. Woo! Okay. All right. Now they're looking at me right. Sillies. Okay. See, there we go. Perfect. Now we just need to add our sides and our bottom, and that's it. Bibbidi bobbidi boo, we're done. Okay. So that measures up good. Looking forward to tomorrow's live stream where we're going to have the Christmas tree skirt that we have been working on the live streams on Walt, on the long arm. So we're very, very excited. And we're getting some stitching love. There's a little bit overhang on this, so let's trim that up first before I start sewing. Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit of a trim. Okay. And if your background fabric was also directional, you may want to pay that attention to that too. But since it's got like stars and, I don't know, snowflakes and stuff, I didn't think it really mattered. because they go everywhere, right? Okay, now we'll press these two sides and then we'll attach the bottom. It was very bitter cold. It was very bitter cold. Did not want to wear my layers for crossing guard. Okay, so there we go. We have our present. Now, this one is clearly too short. What did I? You know what? I think I wrote that down wrong. I think that should have been. What did I say? That's 13. Oh, it's 13 and a half. What's this? Not 13 and a half. Whoops. Uh-oh, I put all the fabric away. Oh, wait, okay, hold on. Here's the fabric here. Okay, my mistake. Let's do a little press here. It happens. I thought I had all my pieces cut. I clearly did not. Apologize for the delay of your time. Okay, so, because it said it should be in about a 13 and a 9.5 inch block, so I'm not sure why I didn't cut 13 and a half. I don't. Those and those. That's not hiding anywhere. Alrighty. Oh well. Clearly very ill prepared today. All right, so 13 and a half, which puts us right there. And then we needed it to be 2 inches. Okay, so let's just line this up. Gives ourselves a nice clean edge. And then we'll measure the 2 inches off that. 1 and 2. And then we will attach this to the bottom, and then we will be done our block. Okay. That is more like it. And I just chose to use gray thread, a light gray or medium gray, just to, you know, it didn't matter whether it got seen or not, right? Because at least it was consistent. All right, so press this, and then press this, and then of course you want to press your bows open if you want to. You don't have to. That's why I made them, because I want them to be there. All right, there we go. Super cute. There's that one. Stay. Okay. And then we got this one. And we got this one. And we got this one. All right, there we go. Block 8. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.